Hi friends! So I hope you enjoyed that story by Vera B. Williams about a chair for her mother. It's a great story, isn't it? But today I want to teach you about one of the best ways to become a better writer is to look closely at the work of authors that we love and to think, what did this writer do that I could try? Because the lead to a story is really important. Authors study other writers' leads and learn ways to revise on their own. All right, friends. So, have you ever seen someone do a really cool trick and before they do it, they say, I know how to do this really cool thing, super cool thing. Let's say it's yo-yoing. So if I'm a really good yo-yoer, I wouldn't just say, hey, come watch this. I would say, I know how to do this thing. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And then people would want to come see it. They say, well, what is it? What is it? Well, I know how to do 5 yo-yo tricks. Wow. Everyone would want to come see those 5 yo-yo tricks because I gave exact details about what's going on. They're not just coming to see me do anything. They're coming to see me do 5 yo-yo tricks. Well, the same thing with your writing. When it's your turn to write, you need to add details to your writing. Tell them exactly what's going to happen in your story so that they are so excited. They're so excited to read the rest of the story. So friends, just like in Vera B. Williams' A Chair for My Mother, we are going to create a good lead too. So at the beginning of the story, did she say, this story's about salt? No way, Jose. Because the story isn't about salt. It's about these great things. So she starts the story by telling about small and precise actions that she does. First, she goes to her mom's work and she gets all this change and then she puts the change in the jar and then when her mother gets home she gets to share that with. So do you see these little tiny details that she does? They add into the exciting details of the whole entire story. They give some information about the little things that she does to do this big thing. She didn't just say, here I am at my mother's job. She told us the exact details about what she's doing. Right in the first line, she said, I wash the salts and peppers and fill the ketchups. So she's telling us all the different things that she does in order to earn her little coins that she gets to put in the jar. So writers, we see that instead of saying, here I am at my mother's job, Vera has told about how she washed the salt and pepper shakers at the diner where her mother works. And writers often begin with little teeny tiny details. So when you're thinking of your own story, you want to come up with the tiny details to add in. And remember, if you don't have enough space, that's okay. Just like our lesson yesterday, you can get a flap of paper, cut out what you need, and tape it right in. Okay. I know that you guys will draw on your entire toolkit to make your stories as amazing as they can be, or to write a new story that will be the best in the whole wide world. And as you revise your stories, I want you to keep in mind that beginnings are especially important. They're so important. The very beginning of your story, most important. So if you are fixing the very beginning of your story or thinking about making a new story, you need to think about the itsy bitsy teeny weeny tiny details, just like Vera did. Or you want to begin a story and then go back and add those teeny tiny details. Now that you know this big writing secret about how writers pay attention to the beginnings of the stories, you'll probably start to listen to the reading of stories differently. So when someone's reading a story, you might say, oh my goodness, that was a great teeny tiny itsy bitsy detail that they added to make me want to read more and more about the story. You won't even be able to help yourself. And you can admire other writers for the beginning of their stories, and you can try to mimic them. So maybe at the first part of Vera's story, she added little tiny details about what was around. But in Miss Morga's story about when my sister scared a cow, I told little tiny details about how it smelled. I used my senses. Remember how it looks, how it smells, how it tastes, how it sounds, how it feels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And you guys will be able to tell those itsy bitsy tiny details. All right. So after you finish reading a story, always go back and see if you can add more. Always try to add more to your stories. Add those teeny tiny details. And remember, once you write a story, ask your mom, your dad, your brother, or your sister, say, can I please read you this story? And then after you read them, say, what can I add to make it even better? What can I add to make it even better? So ask those questions and then go back and do it so that they can be the best stories ever. I can't wait to read them, my sweet friends. It is time for you to go off. Please, please, please pay attention to those beginnings of your stories. Write extra details. All right, friends, go ahead. Have fun writing.